video is to teach students how to recognize functions from sets, tables, graphs, and also mapping. Students have confusions or students have questions on how to recognize a function from a relation, and many of them have questions on domain and ranges as well. So this video should shed some light on how to recognize your functions from various sources such as tables, graphs, etc. So let's go ahead and see what in the world is a function. What exactly does it mean? We have heard this word function probably a million times during the course of math study, but still students have questions on what exactly a function is and how it can be recognized. So, let's think about it, and let's go ahead and look what a function could be. I'm gonna give you a minute. Actually, I'm not gonna give you a minute. I'm gonna give you a second or two to think about what a function is. Now, let's go ahead and see if you can pull anything from your previous memory and see what a function could be. Let's go ahead and think. Now that I have given you 2 seconds and I have to finish the video, let's go ahead and see the next slide. What is a function? Let's go ahead and see where the basis of the function came from. A relation. A relation is a set of ordered pairs. And there's so many ways of representing those ordered pairs. I can represent the ordered pairs as brackets. I can represent the ordered pairs as tables. I can represent them as graphs. I can represent them as mapping. Right, so all these are ordered pairs. So any relation is a set of ordered pairs represented different ways. Now, what is a function? A function is a relation that assigns exactly one output to one input. So every time students talk about input and output, you're supposed to take it as a machine. Let's say you are doing a smoothie. So you're going to need a blender, right? So the blender is a relation. So you input something into the machine, which is the blender, and the output, the range, would be your smoothie, correct? So whatever you input into the machine is your domain. Whatever you get out of the machine is your range. All right? Or you can also think of domain as this way. The word domain means walk of life. So if you were going and entering into a house, which house would you enter? You would enter definitely into this house, correct? Because that's easy to enter. So domain is like an input and an independent axis, and range is the output, which is on the dependent axis, dependent variable, sorry. And the range always depends on your input. What you input into the machine is your domain. What you get out is your range. Now, what exactly one output, one input means? Let's take a simple example. Say you're going to a Coke machine or a vending machine, right? You put in coins, you get a Coke, right? Perfect. If you input, you are looking for, when you go into a vending machine, what do? You first go and see what options it has, and if you want to buy a Coke or a Pepsi, you're going to see how much that costs, and you're going to put in your money, correct? The money you input is the domain. What you get is the range. Now, if you inserted your money for the Coke and you did not get a Coke, you got water, that means that machine is not functioning. It's not function. It's a relation, but it's not a function. So you get it? So when you insert a coin to get a Coke and you get something else, that machine is not functioning. Now let's try a different example. Boys versus girls. You should have one girlfriend should have exactly one boyfriend, right? And if it's not, then that relation is not functioning. So let's go ahead and look at this example. When a guy has two girlfriends, it's not a one-to-one. That means that relation is not functioning. Now, in this one, you have 1:4. That means this relation will not function either. So a function is a relation that assigns exactly one output when you put in one input. And again, this can be represented as different kinds. You can represent them as ordered pairs, tables, graphs, and mapping. And when you look at it, I have exactly one input, one output, one input, one output, one input, one output. How to recognize a function? The easiest way to recognize a function is the x should never repeat. The x should never repeat. Now when I look in the first one, in the ordered pairs, I have -4, well and good, -2, well and good. Wait a minute, I have another -2 here, and that is not a function. Same is the case. -2, -2, not a function. When I draw a vertical line test, that line touches those 2 points. That is not a function. Now let's put what we know into action. Okay, which of them is not a function? Now what would I do? I would go ahead and check 0, good, 1, good, 4, good, 1. Wait a minute, the x is repeating, so this is not a function. And -1, 2, 7, and 1. The x's are not repeating. So this is a function. So this is, let me go ahead and drag this. This is not a function, and this is a function. Now let's go ahead and play a quick game here and see which of them is a function. A circle. So when I draw a circle, and let me go ahead and quickly draw a circle and show you what I'm talking about. If I take a circle and I draw a circle on x-axis and y-axis, let's say this is my x and y-axis. I draw a circle on x and y-axis. You see that when I draw a vertical line test to check if a relation is a function, that line touches the graph more than once. So a circle is not a function. Now let's go ahead and check if that's true. Circle is not a function, it's a relation. Very good. A line, if I'm drawing a line, let me go ahead and change the color of this one. If I draw a line, that line is a function, right? That line is a function. Why? Because the x's are not repeating, the y's are not repeating. So I'm just going to go ahead and erase this quickly so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to draw one more line here. So this is my x and y axis, and I'm drawing a line. I'm just drawing a random line, right? And if I do a vertical line test, if I draw a vertical line across this line, the vertical line is touching the line exactly once. So this is a function, right? So a line is a function. What about a parabola? If I draw a parabola, let's say I am drawing an inverted parabola, and I do a vertical line test. I draw a vertical line, the line touches the parabola exactly once. That means that is a function as well. A parabola is a function. What about a hyperbola? So if I go ahead and check for a hyperbola, let's say I'm going to draw a hyperbola here this way. And if I do a vertical line test, the line touches the graph more than once, so that's not a function, right? So what happens when the line touches the graph more than once? What exactly is going on here? When the line touches the graph more than once, you see this particular x value has 2 y values, one here and one here. So that's why it is not a function. It's just a relation. All right? And now let's go ahead and look at this one. Okay. I have hours. My x values here are -4, -2, -56, 10, and wait a minute, I have another -2. I have 2 -2's. Remember, for it to be a function, the x's should not repeat. So this is not a function. Now let's put what we know into practice. Choose the correct, pull the correct tab whether this is a function or not. Okay, let me go ahead and see. 7. I have 7. Okay, I have 2. Check. I have -1, check, 2, check, 8, check. So my x values are not repeating, right? So that means this is a function, and we are absolutely right. Oops, where is that? Which is the following. So we're going to move this yellow tab here to whichever one that is not a function. So let me go ahead and check everything. My x values should not repeat. 1, check, 2, check, 5, check, 7, check, 1, no. This is not a function. What about the next one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a function. So that means I'm going to highlight this one. I'm going to put an x for something that is not a function, and again I'm going to go ahead and check my x values. 0, 11, 25, and 6, very good, and everyone is going to exactly 1. 9 is going to 3, 5 is going to 21, 19 is going to 7, and 1 is going to 1 as well as 21. So this is not a function. Okay, now coming to the graphs. I'm gonna see if the x values are repeating. Technically what I'm trying to do is I'm simply gonna draw a vertical line, but this one, if I want to graph this one, it's gonna be kind of hard, but let me look at the x values and see if they're repeating. I have one x value here that has exactly one y value. I have one x value here that has exactly 1, 1, 1, 1. So this is a function. What about this one? I'm simply going to draw a vertical line and check. It touches the line exactly once. This is a function. Let me go ahead and look at this one. I have one x value and one y value, one x value, one y value, one x value, one. But look at this one. I have one x value having two y values. So if I draw a vertical line here, that vertical line would touch the point 2 times. That means this is not a function.